You're being lied to about long-term care costs and the threat it is to your retirement plan. It's just so freaking frustrating to me. I used to fall for this stuff myself. I did until I started reading the real data behind this. I said, what? Once you start reading it, you can't look back. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So I just got this from the, and I don't know if these are absolutely lies of omission, lies of ignorance. I don't know. But at some point, you got to say, why would I believe anything these people say when it comes, long-term care is going to sink your retirement ship? It just, it could. I'm not saying it can. I'm not saying there's no one doesn't go bankrupt. The vast majority of people just aren't, and I'm going to prove it to you. Again, I talked about this in my book, You Can Retire on Social Security, which is here someplace in my mess of stuff. If you haven't bought it, you're wrong. You should. I talk about it. I'm going to talk about it again in my upcoming book, and just as crazy. All right. This from the BLS, U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Dateline, October 2024. And I want to show you something. Basically, I have two groups of facilities. This on the right is you stay home for your long-term care needs. This is on the right. Now, these are the number of employees, all right, just FYI. You can see the number of employees for you stay home, all right, you have in-home health care, things like home health services, is higher than the number of employees for you go to a facility, private care, skilled care, community care, continuing care, retirement community. This is where you leave your house and you go to a facility. This is where you stay in your house and essentially the care comes to you. All right, so you see more employees here. That's interesting. Let's keep going. Oh, we're going to see the growth of the employees. Here is right here, home health, right, these two guys. These two guys right here. Home health services and services for the persons with disabilities. You can see the growth has gone up significantly. I'm not going to say exponentially, but significantly since 1990. Check this out. This is skilled care facility. Your dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that. Look, it's only grown by 1.1 million to 1.46 million over 25 years. In fact, since 2010, it's gone down. The number of people working in skilled care facilities has gone down from 1.6 to 1.4 significantly. How can that possibly be the case if all these people are getting Alzheimer's? Oh, by the way, you know what the number of people 65 and older has gone? It's doubled from 31 million to 62 million. So not only has the number of people 65 and older doubled since 1990, but the number of people since 1990 who are working in skilled care facilities has only grown by 1% or so. That's it. In fact, over the last 12, 10, 15 years, it's gone down. So how can it possibly be that everyone's going to run out of money with dementia, Alzheimer's, and skilled care facilities, or private rooms even, if the number of employees in those private rooms has gone down, and yet the number of people 65 and older has doubled? It doesn't make any sense. Well, the reason is because they're going to in-home health care as opposed to these skilled care facilities at private rooms. And that's what they all say. Well, your private room in a facility is going to cost you $96,000 a year. Yeah, I know. We all have some story about someone who spent that kind of money. The vast majority of us don't. They just don't. And that's why the number of skilled care people are going down. That's why the number of people in home health care are going up. Because people say, either I can't afford it or I don't need to have that full time. All right, let's keep going here. So this is another one that's very interesting to me. I want to show you this right here. Yeah, I can't, look, skilled care facility. The numbers of people working in skilled care facilities has dropped significantly over the last 15 years. I just can't stress that enough. It's crazy. No one would have told you that. You would have thought skilled care facilities, the numbers are going through the roof, and they're just not. Right here. Oh, this is interesting too. Total average weekly hours working. If you're in a skilled care facility, other residential care facility, continuing care facility, a private room, you're a full-time worker. If you're an employee there, you're a full-time worker. If you're an in-home healthcare provider, you're a part-time worker. Why is that important? Well, I come over here now. Because annual wages for private work, private rooms. My mom, she's in a private room. That's what she's in. The annual wages for facility for the employees there is $72,000. Annual wages for home health care is half that, essentially. Annual wages for persons that got disabilities, elderly services for the elderly and disabilities is even less, $26,000, about a third of that. Anyway, so this is what you're paying when you go to a skilled care facility or a private room. You're paying this kind of money. When you have people come to see you, this is what your money paying is. And again, I just want to point out again, number of people working in these facilities, you can see has gone down in the skilled care facilities. It's leveled off in the private room facilities. The number of people working where they're going to come to you has gone up significantly. And yet the price on these facilities is up here. The price where you are going, which is going to be in-home health care, is down here in terms of the price of the annual wages per employee. All right, let's take a look at in the great state of Maine. For a private room, the total cost is $61,000 essentially. All right, for a private room. Let's go to we got home health care services with people right here. It's $31,000. So when a person comes to me because I need help with some of the 6 activities of daily living, ADLs, it's half of what it is if I went to a private room. Half. All right. Skilled care facilities, I think that's, $46,000. So you can see right there. Residential rare, let's see, home health service. Let's see what home health service. I think that's actually more. Yeah, so that's even more expensive. Home health services, when they come to you, home health services are more expensive actually than what would be for right here services for the elderly and persons with disabilities, but it's still significantly less than the private room, which is what everybody's worried about. And I just want to point out something, because remember, that's the average annual wages. We're going to go to number of days, weekly hours worked there. And the weekly hours worked for right here, home health care, is 29.2. The weekly hours worked for private rooms and things is full time. I'm just pointing out, dude. So the cost to you is significantly lower when they come to you as opposed to when you go to them. And yet you can see when we go to them, the number of people working in those environments has dropped, which would lead one to believe what? That there's less people going into those facilities, which would lead one to believe what? That less people are paying those $96,000 a year. Now, again, you might say because they're running out of money, but do we have any validation of that at all? No, there's no evidence to support that. I mean, are some people, sure, there'll always be some part of the population runs out of money, what I'm saying. We have people gambling. We have people addicted to porn, people addicted to alcohol, people addicted to drugs. There's always going to be a portion of the population who screws themselves over, without question. Or they get screwed over by the man, whatever it is. And that sucks. The vast, vast majority of people aren't, though. And this is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and their own analysis that says, look, man, the facts are more and more people are staying at home for care. That's just a fact. More and more people are paying less money for care. It's just a fact. Less and less people are going into private rooms, facilities, and things of that nature, skilled care. Even though the amount of people who would do that have doubled since 1990. The number of people has gone by that, doubled. The number of people in those industries in terms of employees has dropped. How else is it being provided for care? If they need it again, that's the big thing, they're being provided for care at home. It's just a fact, dude. So we can sit there all day long. The private nursing home is going to destroy me. It's just, I mean, again, I'm never going to say it can't. It's just not happening. All right. God bless. Love to hear your thoughts. Smash that like button. Smash, smash, smash. Smash, smash, smash. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you.